What's up guys, Eagle here from ProNDC. Welcome to another ESO build video. So today I'm going to show you another version of the Magicka Sorcerer PvE setup. I will try to make this video a little bit shorter because it's like kind of a follow-up video to the old build. So the complete build guide, you will find the link in the video description down below. I decided to come to the computer to play on PC because like the gear overview is all a little bit better. I can show you a little bit better what gear sets I'm running because you need two sets to be a little bit more flexible with the setup. So like if you want like the full explanation why I use some skills and all that stuff, just check the other build video. But why do I make another version of this build? Is the other one too weak, or what's the issue? So a lot of viewers asked me, what do you do in Theron Archive at the last boss? There's chain lightning, pests can get hit. It's awful. And I said like, yeah, you can use a ranged pet or you can slot Bound Aegis, but like Bound Aegis with Necropotence is not really strong because you lose the 5p set bonus because you're not using a pet, and it's stupid. Or use Inner Light or whatever you want to slot on the bar. It's a little bit it's a little bit sad that it cannot work there. It's great for dungeons and all that stuff, and it does a ton of AoE damage, but still it's not very flexible. So I want to show you this build here, which is more flexible, but you need two sets, and I'm going to show you the setup that I'm currently running. So for monster set, I'm using Alambris. You could also go with the Grothdar in dungeons or in like trash fights where you can stay close to the mobs. But if you need to be ranged, you should go with Alambris instead because it does a little bit more damage. And then I'm going with 5 pieces of Necropotence like with the other setup. Then I'm also using 3 pieces of Moondancer. And then because I'm on computer and I do not have a Moondancer staffs at all, and of course not sharpened, I'm using 2 sharpened random staffs. I have an Inferno staff on the back bar and a lightning staff on the front bar. The lightning staff, of course, for the heavy attack, extra AoE damage, which is really nice, and then the lightning staff, the Inferno staff on the back bar to have a little bit more damage on the execute, and because the Blockade of Fire is just stronger than Blockade of Lightning. So this is one of the sets that I'm running. The other setup I will show it to you later. I will just go over the skills quickly. So we're using Force Pulse, we're using Crystal Fragments, Daedric Prey, the Voltite Familiar, Inner Light, and Shooting Star. I'm using Fiery Rage, Inner Light. You can replace this with a shield. Mage's Wrath, the pet again because it's a toggle, Liquid Lightning, and Blockade of Fire. And rotation looks pretty much like this, or like so. I'm sitting at about 50k max magic right now with Grothdar, or like if you have it in gold quality, you'd have like 50.2k max magic, and rotation looks pretty much like this. You start with Liquid Lightning, you put down your Blockade of Fire, and then you cast your pet into a bar swap. You cast your Daedric Prey, and then you cast, you weave Force Pulses and cast Fragments when they proc, and then when your dots run out, you swap bars and reapply them. So that's like the basic rotation until you get into execute, and then you execute. So it looks like this. So light attack, Liquid Lightning, light attack, Blockade of Fire, light attack, pet. But your pet of course needs to attack. I'm sorry. Light attack, Daedric Prey. And then you weave all the time. And then if your dots run out, you reapply them. So that's the rotation. And then now I will just try to show it to you a little bit faster. So maybe like let the pet attack again. And the good thing is, like on PC, we do have a pet command button. So light attack, Liquid Lightning, light attack, Blockade. So for some reason, sometimes my attacks just won't go off. I try to block cancel. I'm not sure what's the problem sometimes, but this is pretty much like the basic rotation that you use. And I like this better because you cast the dots on cooldown. The damage can be really high with this setup. And yeah, this is like, for some reason sometimes I get this bug. You can see my hands don't glow, but I get the crystal fragment proc. I'm not sure what the issue is here. And this is pretty much rotation for this setup. So I will show you the other setup, which uses Burning Spellweave. So if you are at the last boss, Aetherian Archive, or any other boss fight, you might want to slot Burning Spellweave. And it's really important if you use Burning Spellweave to really cast your dots on cooldown, especially the blockade, because it's like the only fire damage. And it will help with your Burning Spellweave uptime. And also what we change is we take out the pet and instead we slot the Bound Aegis. Also really important. So I'm sitting at 45k max magic. And if you're max EP, 17.1k max health. The thing is, or like before people ask the question, Haunting Curse. I did some testing and the damage is the same with Haunting Curse, but Haunting Curse explodes 2 times, while Daedric Prey you have to cast it twice. So Daedric Prey costs more magicka in total, even if you change the gear, but you should still be able to maintain magicka pretty well. And then it explodes after 6 seconds, and Haunting Curse explodes after 3.5, and again 8.5 seconds later. So it's also 12 seconds. So if you cast Daedric Prey 2 times, it explodes after 12 seconds if you perfectly time it, which people won't be able to do anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But still, like, 2 Daedric Preys do like about the same damage as 1 Haunting Curse, but they just cost a little bit more. So if you need to put the pet away, you can just still use Daedric Prey. It still works fine. If you do not want to play with the pets at all, just play this gear setup and then just put Haunting Curse here. But don't wait until it explodes 2 times. Cast your dots on cooldown. So if they run out, cast them again. It's really important because they're a huge amount of AoE damage that you miss out on, and your Burning Spell uptime will be low if you're playing with the lightning staff on the front bar. And I've did a ton of testing. Like my average uptime of Burning Spellweave was 55%. With letting the dots run out, and I do not really like this. It's stupid. I'm sorry. It's like for Burning Spell with uptime, if I'm lucky, maybe, but it's a little bit stupid. So rotation is pretty much the same. So you put down your Liquid Lightning, the blockade into Boss Rob, and then Curse, and then cast and weave fragments all the time. So this is pretty much rotation. Like every time my curse explodes, I reapply it, and every time my dots run out, I reapply them. And the rotation is actually pretty simple, like until we get into execute range, and then we just like light attack weave the execute. But it's really important that you still reapply your dots. That's really important. Reapply your dots and then use execute. If you have the pet down, you reapply your dots and use the pet as well, because the pet deals a ton of damage. That's actually pretty much it. Like the champion points since I do not have max CP, just use the champion point distribution I showed you in the original build video. Check the link in the video description, as I said, and watch, like, for like further explanation, just watch that build video as well. Like, I explained everything a little bit more detailed in that video. This is just like a follow-up. I'm really thankful that a lot of viewers like asked me like, what do you do in that trial and all that stuff, because it made me like try to figure out a way to make things work. So I wasn't really happy to begin with, like burning spell weave. I know I showed necropotence in the other video, so yeah, that's actually about it, guys, in a very short video. I hope I explained everything detailed enough for you to understand. If you have any questions, any further questions regarding this setup, just ask them in the comment section, and I will try to answer as soon as possible. And that's it for today, guys. I hope to see you next time. Until then, bye bye.